Hey, today we're talking to Alistair, who's working on a really cool new web-based startup called Cultured. So thanks, Alistair, for joining us today. Could you tell us a bit about the app's purpose and how you came up with the idea?
Yeah, certainly. Thanks for having me.
Nice.
I guess the purpose around Cultured, or the biggest problem we solve, is essentially we're a student's guide to a city.
Okay.
So we're students ourselves that recently graduated, and we work a lot with students. And we basically tell young people where to go in Perth or other cities like Melbourne and Sydney, and especially what's popular. So which nightclubs do you go to on certain days of the week? What are the events coming up which are the most popular based on Facebook and things like that? Where can you go to eat that's really cheap? Essentially, we will give people information which is popular for young people and what they would likely recommend, or what we would likely recommend they go to based on who they are as a person and what other young people are doing.
Awesome. And I know you've been having some success recently. Did you recently get a scholarship?
I didn't. My co-founder just entered it.
Awesome.
But yeah, we got through the Code and Ignition program through a scholarship which was sponsored by Spur. And yeah, that was hugely helpful. So before the web app, we actually did a physical map, which is actually right there. I just realised
okay,
it.
cool, awesome.
But yeah, we were doing that, and it was great. People loved it. People were using it. But it was very difficult to commercialise. So that's probably the point we went to Spur, the Ignition program, and then we quickly learned the importance of business modelling and commercialising a project before you head down the path, and then yeah.
Yeah, great. What were some of the other initial challenges you faced, getting it going, and how did you overcome them?
The initial challenges, without plugging Bloom too much, the biggest challenge was motivation in the early stage. So what was the point when we decided, right, this isn't just an idea, it's probably a hobby, and then when did it become a hobby into a business? So we actually had this idea quite a while back, but I had to go through honours, so we put it on the back burner. And then when I finished my degree, we were working out of our bedrooms, out of the libraries, just plugging away a little bit, seeing how it felt. And then the point which we decided to really give it a crack is when we really jumped over it. But it's finding that motivation, being like, at what point do you commit to it? I think that was probably the biggest sort of initial factor. And then it's just realising how much time it takes to work on a startup. Like, you can't do a crappy product. You got to put the effort and the hours in. And I was working full time as a market researcher. So that was very difficult managing that sort of, 4 days a week full time. You work overtime, and then the other 3 days working full time again. Overtime on a startup can get quite difficult. But yeah, you learn to deal with it.
And did Bloom help when you're first starting out?
Yeah, that's a great example of the motivational aspects of it. So working out of your bedroom and libraries and stuff like that, trying to pinch every sort of penny, so to speak, it's great because it's free, but your motivation will rapidly decrease. I mean, you can only stare at a bedroom wall so much before you go insane. And Bloom helped a lot with that. So working in a co-space and just talking to people who are quite smart, who are really in the space, it's incredibly motivating. And yeah, that's probably the biggest aspect for us with Bloom.
Awesome. So what's next for Cultured?
Next, so we're developing the web application. So it's very exciting. We're in the early stage of the MVP, so we just built the MVP, and we're going through a back-end stage process of giving it to consumers. What do you like? What do you don't like? Then we, make the changes and do that process like for a month or so, and then we're going to be releasing it to the market and going from there. So that's probably the biggest stage that we're at, building the platform and then going full steam ahead.
Exciting, yeah. And for people watching who want to start, do their own startup as well, or pursue other forms of entrepreneurship, what steps would you recommend they take?
Yeah, I guess it was what I was saying before, just jumping in there. You can be stuck with analysis paralysis. And a lot of the time I've just found is you're going to make mistakes. And it's really important to realise that you shouldn't shy away from making mistakes. You should just figure out how can you learn and screw up in a way that doesn't kill the project. So things like, we learned a very, probably too expensive of a lesson in the importance of finding money or finding a way to generate revenue in an idea. So we should have done that earlier on. But even though everyone told us that and it was aware, there's so much advice out there that it can just become noise. And at the end of the day, you really just got to jump in there, make the mistakes so you'll never do them again, but in a way that allows you to keep going forward. Yeah.
Awesome. Thanks a lot for speaking with us. I appreciate it. And yeah, all the best for your work going forward with Cultured.
Awesome. Thanks for having me.